How's it going, everybody? And so let's get on with Tuesday's Bible study. And yeah, so we're going to continue in Acts 10, and we are going to wrap up Daniel 2, and we're going to stay in the New Living. And they said, Cornelius, the centurion, a just man, and one that feareth God, and of good rapport among the nation of Jews, was warned from God by a holy angel to send for thee into his house and to hear words of thee. Sorry, I forgot I needed to go start dinner. Then called he them in and lodged them. And on the morrow, Peter went away with them, and certain brethren from Joppa accompanied him. And on the morrow, after they entered into Caesarea, and Cornelius waited for them, he had called together his kinsmen and near friends. And Peter was coming in. Cornelius met him and fell down at his feet and worshipped him. But Peter took him up, saying, Stand up, I myself am also a man. So that goes back to like when the angel in Revelation, when John, uh, the angel to dawn, good grief, the angel to dawn, the angel to John, stand up and worship God. I am just a mere servant. I butchered that, but he basically said, stand up, don't worship me, I am but a mere servant. And then he ends with worship God. Where is it at? And he saith unto me, See thou doest not, for I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren, the prophets. So this is an angel, but yet he says he's of thy brethren, the prophets. And I would guess that that's all in the spiritual sense. And of them which keep the sayings of this book, semicolon, worship God. All right. Anyway, it just reminded me of that. I did not. I did. I didn't. Oh, I know what's going on. I'm reading this in the King James. We're doing all right in the King James with it, though, aren't we? Or is it? Are we finding it too difficult? They said they were sent by Cornelius, a Roman officer, and he was a devout, God-fearing man, well respected by all the Jews. And a holy angel instructed him to summon him to his house so he can hear your message. So Peter invited the men to stay for the night. The next day he went with them, accompanied by some of the brothers from Joppa. They arrived in Caesarea the following day. Cornelius was waiting for them and had called together his relatives and close friends. As Peter entered the home, Cornelius fell at his feet to worship him, but Peter pulled him up and said, Stand up, I am but a human being, just like you. So they talked together and went inside where the others were assembled. Peter told them, You know it's against our laws for a Jewish man to enter a Gentile home like this or to associate with you. So this all goes back to it's not about what you eat anymore. It's not about uh, being a sheep does or being a member of the church does not mean you must be of the bloodline or sojourn with the bloodline by following the old covenant. It's kind of all of that tied together. But God has shown me that I should no longer think of anyone as impure or unclean. There you go. And does that mean anyone ever? Well, no, if you see somebody that's, you know, performing evil, then of course, but he's saying based off there, and again, this is in the watered down New Living for easy understanding, but he's saying it's not about the fact that they're not of the bloodline anymore. So I came without objection as soon as I was sent for. Now tell me why you sent me. And let's just catch a little bit of that in the rest of that in the poetic King James that we actually began it with. And he said unto them, You know that it is unlawful, old covenant, thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company or to come into one of another nation, but God have shown me that I should not call any man uncommon or unclean. So again, that's the context. Therefore came I unto you without gainsaying, as soon as I went sent for. I ask, therefore, for what intent ye have sent for me. All right, let's finish up Daniel 2. We went over the mark of the beast yesterday, and I do believe we did put the AI as the ghost of the machine mark of the beast in the description. Let me double check that because I said that I would. Oh, that was 2 days ago that I did that study. I'm pretty sure that I did. Yeah, I did.
Everybody, still have a lot on my mind.
Yeah,
All right, hey.
had a lot going on Saturday, Sunday in my head. You know, it is what it is. My situation has not been cured. And well, we have no volume. So I just turned it up. Sorry. My head's just not in the right place. I always check volume at the beginning. So there's your proof that my head's just elsewhere. And finish up Daniel 2. For as much as thou sawest a stone that was cut out of the mountain without hands, and it break that into pieces, the iron and the brass and the clay and the silver and the gold. So this is God's kingdom that is destroying the mystery Babylonian kingdom forever and ever. God have made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter, and the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof sure. Then King Nebuchadnezzar fell on his face and worshiped Daniel. Here again comes worshiping of a human. Just how many times have we had one Bible study correlate with the other in a very freakish way? Happens all the time. Just the other day, it was eunuch in one, eunuch in the other. Then the king Nebuchadnezzar on his face and worship, and commanded that they should offer an oblation and sweet odors unto him. So great smelling odors, you know, who knows, incense, whatever. The king answered unto Daniel and said, of a truth it is that your God is a God of gods and a Lord of kings and a revealer of secrets, seeing thou couldst reveal the secret. Then the king made Daniel a great man and gave him many great gifts and made him ruler over the whole province of Babylon and the chief of the governors over all the wise men of Babylon. And Daniel requested of the king and set Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego over the affairs of the province of Babylon. But Daniel sat at the gate of the king. So he was right there with them all the time. And Nebuchadnezzar's still not yet a sheep, even though he is now honoring Daniel's God. But he becomes a sheep in Daniel 4 when he is humbled to the utmost, to the ground. I'm glad you're here. I love you very much. Ask questions anytime. That's what I'm here for.